Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be running through my calisthenics weight training program. I've had quite a few people ask me to show you guys what my workout consists of now, what exercise am I doing, what reps and sets and so forth. So I thought, you know what, I'll make it kind of like a little vlog sort of style that will give you guys an idea of how I work out, what exercises do, what reasons do I do, what rest periods and everything like that. Run you through my workout and we'll go from there. So the first kind of group of exercises that we're going to be doing, and my workout is very similar to the recommended routine on bodyweight fitness. And obviously I've made adaptations to exercises that I prefer to do or exercises that I have access to. So I've sort of done a modified version of the recommended routine. But as you guys know, I've been promoting the 5 to 8 rep range quite a while now, sort of like 3 sets. And this is still kind of a minimalist style of program, but I'm covering all of my bases and I've added in exercises that I just enjoy to do. But the structure is very similar to the recommended routine. So for any of you who have done it or you're doing it now, if you wanted to try this one, it would be a very easy switch to go. So the first couple of exercises that I've got to do is pull-ups and trap bar to sort of superset. So speaking from my video before where I'm on about how you can maximize sort of how much work I can get done in a given time, I talked about either doing giant sets or sort of supersetting exercises that are kind of like opposite muscles or they're not the same muscle group. So this one, to speed up the process, I do my pull-ups, have a 90-second rest, and then I go straight into trap bar and I'll alternate that 3 times. But what I do to sort of get prepared for this exercise, and this is something I've talked about in the past, is I like to basically do either an easier variation of it, or I just sort of do the exercise with less volume just to sort of prep myself up. So obviously this time I'm going to be doing pull-ups, and not just standard pull-ups. I've been really getting into the video that I've recently talked about where you're trying to turn the pull-up into a hybrid between a pull-up and a row, and it allows you just to get more activation of the mid-back. It increases the range of motion. It just makes it a little bit more difficult and more challenging. And then when you go from this into a normal pull-up, they just feel so much easier. So I'll do a few reps of that just to sort of get my body ready for it. I've been doing pull-ups every day for the last week, so it feels pretty good. Still a little bit of feeling in there a little bit, but it feels good that I feel like I can get the activation within the first sort of like warm-up set, which is quite good. So what I'll do is I'll do a couple sets of these, but I'll alternate them with the sort of trap bar deadlift. With a trap bar one, I'll just do a few reps, not too many, with a lighter weight. And like anything, if you're doing strength training, it's about ramping up the intensity and slowly testing your central nervous system to sort of prepare it for what's about to come. So at the minute, I've got 60 kilos on there, sort of just a base weight. I'm gonna be working up to 140. So sometimes I'll do a couple of warm-up sets on the 60, then I'll chuck on 20 on either side, so 100. A couple sort of test sets on that, then I'll put it up to 140, maybe do a test rep or 2 on there, and then I get into my warm-up sets. So you might be wondering, how much rest periods should you be taking between, I guess, your warm-up? And I guess it kind of just like, give it so it feels like you're not actually getting your heart rate going, you're not feeling a pump, you're not feeling anything. Go when you feel ready, but don't do it if you're starting to feel it a bit too much. So it could be a minute, could be 2 minutes. This isn't about hitting your muscles, it isn't about feeling it. This is literally just sort of like you're greasing the groove, you're preparing your body for what's about to happen, you're sort of reinforcing the form, really focusing on now that I'm not trying to get my back muscles like feeling a pump. I'm just thinking, execute the form, squeeze the muscles where I need to. When it comes to the trap bar, I'm thinking tightness throughout my core, solid while before I pull the bar, and everything is moving in one go, and I'm pressing and it's coming up in one and it's feeling strong. Holding the breath, I normally do between reps just so you got that intra-abdominal pressure. So holding your breath between reps, that's what I do that for. Really important when doing the trap bar and any sort of deadlift, don't bounce the weights. If you're coming down, bouncing coming up, it's going to be taking some of the work from you because of the bounce, especially if you've got bumper plates, that will spring you up. You're going to have that part of the movement which is going to actually be quite unstable for your spine and different things like that, because it will bang and it might make you twist or turn, which isn't going to be good for your back while under load. So it's very important with the trap bar, with a normal deadlift, let it come to a dead stop or a dead deadlift, a dead weight, let it stop, reset and pull. You don't have to bang through the reps. If you start bouncing it, you're more likely to injure yourself, but you're taking away some of the work from yourself as well. So reset after every one, re-engage your breath, hold it, tense up your core. Imagine you've got like a weight belt there. Create your own with your own body, drive and pull up. So I've done my warming up, I've been ramping up, just been doing a few warm-up sets of the pull-ups. I've ramped up to 140 on the trap bar because that's the weight I'm going to be playing now. Just chucked on some liquid chalk because I'm going to be getting into my work sets now. Pull-ups, I think last workout I was doing 3 sets of 6. So I think I'm either going to go for 7 today, or I'll see how the 6 feels, or I'll go through them because I've done pull-ups every single day so far. So I don't know if that's going to impact my performance today, but we'll see how it feels. And then what I'm going to do is I do that, and then I'll have a set 90 seconds where I will rest, and then I move straight onto the trap bar. And then I'll do 90 seconds and then back to the pull-up, and it'll be 3 rounds of that. So we'll cut through that and we'll go straight into the workout scenes. So that's a good thing with this. Felt like I had another rep or 2 in the tank, but because I'm holding myself back, it's then going to allow me to keep up that level of performance for the rest of the sets to come. So that's really important too. Even sometimes if you feel like you've got it in you, if you have a plan and a structured way in which your program is working, by overextending yourself, it can then sometimes hamper the sets or the reps that come after. So sometimes actually holding yourself back, the idea of sort of like backloading sometimes can be quite good, because performance is what I'm going for. Yes, by doing this amount of work and doing it, I'll build muscle and I'll get stronger, but the performance aspect of it is I'd rather hold a rep or 2 in the tank and then get the sets done and the reps done with really good form for the next 2 sets to come. 90 seconds goes real quick, so I'm gonna set up for the trap bar. So guys, I'm really not that unfit, but because of sort of the strength training that I've done in the past, I'm so used to pull-ups, dips, trap bar. You might have heard it when I'm doing the trap bar then. I hold my breath, and it's that bang, hold, tense, keep everything tight. I transfer that even to my bodyweight stuff. Sometimes I feel like I'm out of breath. It's because through the reps, I've actually been holding my breath, and now there's like this catch up of air, but I'm not like overweight or obese or no stamina at all. So if you guys are like, why is this guy out of breath? He's just done a set of trap bar. It's because of that, it's that holding that breath, something I've always done. If you're used to doing strength training, 90 seconds rest is not enough. Normally it's at least 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Sit down. Right, so my next second set of pull-ups now. The other thing that's quite challenging with this is on your grip. Your grip isn't really getting a lot of rest in this period, and obviously when I'm doing the trap bar, I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together, trying to pull the bar back, so I'm working my lats, because your lats can also be used to stabilize your spine. So by engaging them and rotating in and locking them in, it's another way of stabilizing your spine, which is going to make you stronger. So sets of 7, I'm going to be linking them. It's just easier to make sure that if I've done 7 there, it's 7 here. Last set of these, so you can really start feeling it on your grip starting to add up. They're going from one to the other, and also I'm talking now, where normally if I was doing that, I'd stop have a drink, rest, get ready for the next set. You'll be surprised just by talking, it slows your breath back. Then you feel like you're constantly trying to catch back up. Last set with this rotation, and they feel pretty good. Like the importance of holding your breath. Like some people like, take a breath in, and when you get to the top, let it out. Something like a deadlift. No, you get to the top, you're really under load. If you suddenly go loose and you lose that intra-abdominal pressure that you're creating with holding your breath, it loses that tension and that tightness, which stabilizes your spine. So that's not a good thing to do. Like I said, I don't need to do it when doing pull-ups. I think it's just the habit of doing it that way and trying to treat it like a strength exercise. If I can do that, keep my core tight, it makes it easier to create tension through the whole body. That was hard, that last set. It starts to add up, that fatigue does start to add up. Last set of them, they're good. The great thing as well is if you start training chest to bar, your normal pull-ups are so much easier because you're increasing the range of motion. Plus, because you're going chest to bar, you can really activate your mid-back more. Just makes your whole back in general just a lot stronger. Highly recommend them, especially if you're someone that doesn't have time or doesn't want to do rows as well. I'm not saying it's a complete and utter replacement. Rowing is obviously going to be good, something that's really beneficial to add into your training, whether you're doing these sorts of pull-ups or no. However, if you haven't got time in a workout here or there, or you're doing an ultra minimalist, by doing chest to bar, help negate if you aren't doing any rows to actually get a little bit of mid-back. So it's something that you can add in to really go for it. Some horizontal pulling is very beneficial, so if you can try and arc it in, try and get the best of both worlds. Plus it makes a normal pull-up harder, especially for any of you that aren't looking to go into weighted calisthenics. You want a more progressive form of doing pull-ups. I challenge you to start doing chest to bar and even go up chest to bar and even hold it for a second or two. It's gonna be really challenging. Right, ready for my last set of trap bar. Okay, now they're done. That's your main pulling and your squatting done. Let's move on to the next two exercises. So the next sort of superset that I'm going to be doing now is elevated pike push-ups and sandbag throws. The reason why I'm combining these two again is going to be an upper body and a lower body, but I'm going to be hitting the pushing from a vertical plane, which is going to be nice and different, especially with the next exercise I've got to come. And this sandbag allows me to get a little bit of real posterior chain movement. Trap bar is good, very leg dominant, but compared to say a normal deadlift, it doesn't get the posterior chain as much. So again, with this, you could replace it if you wanted to with maybe some bridging or some sort of hip extension. But I like to do sandbag ones. It's fun to do, feels explosive. And the great thing is, once I get stronger, I can put more sand in. Reason why I'm doing mine off the box as well, makes it a little bit harder. It makes it a lot easier to get my body weight up and over and into my sort of arms. And also, I don't have the best hamstring flexibility, so trying to get up close while keeping straight legs is pretty difficult for me. At least I can use the box to get up over, allows me to get a really good amount of my body weight over. The idea of this is try and lean as much weight as I can over, and if I find any sticking point or grinding points, move my body weight just so I can push through the rep. It allows me to make this more intense. I could normally do handstand push-ups, but I'm trying to explore the idea of doing handstand push-ups with my face facing the wall, where normally I would pop up against the wall and do handstands that way. So this is going to be my way of progressing into it that way and building up to it with a little bit better than just jumping straight in there. So again, with this, it's going to be a set of pike push-ups. Then I'm going to be doing 90 seconds rest, and then I'll be doing a set of sandbag throws, 90 seconds rest, and it's going to be 3 sets of that. So let's jump straight into it. I struggle with pike push-ups. This is what's strange about pike push-ups compared to handstand push-ups, which popping them out way I find easier. Sometimes I get like heartburn or acid reflux sometimes. If I do any of the pike stuff, I don't know if any of you are the same, comment down below if you do. When I'm doing pike stuff, maybe if I've drunk water or something, it always feels like it wants to come out. It's a really, really uncomfortable feeling. And it kind of ruins the set a lot of the time, but I still feel pretty good. You definitely feel it on your shoulders. And again, compared to like doing a handstand one that way, very easy for your hands to go out really wide and to flare your elbows. This one, it's a lot easier to be more accountable, keeping the elbows in front of you and tighter. And it's a little bit easier on the wrists as well with a parallex, as opposed to like that, you can hold to it, so it feels a lot more comfortable that way. So they're sort of ones I will build up, and hopefully eventually get up to handstand push-ups with that way. I can do them. The thing that I find really difficult and annoying with your face facing the wall handstand push-ups are my feet keep rubbing against the wall, and I'm finding I'm there trying to push through, and it just feels like my feet are rubbing against the wall, and it's actually making it unnecessarily harder. And the only way to then go up the wall is for my feet to walk up. Where if I go that way, I'm just popping straight up and I'm going up and down, and it feels better than having it at a slight angle, and it just feels like you're just driving into the wall as opposed to going up. So I thought, take a break from it, maybe go through this route, really still work the shoulders to build up to it, and see if I do it that way, whether I find these a little bit more comfortable. So let's jump into the sandbags. So what I like about these, which I know it's not calisthenics, and I know some people, me doing sandbag or kettlebell or trap bar, put some people off, because you are going to get those calisthenics or nothing mentalities. They may switch off from what you're saying once you start incorporating some form of weight training, as if it's like calisthenics blasphemy. But it's just like, if you isolate yourself to one form of training, you're just isolating yourself to one form of stimulus, one fixated way of training. Training or exercising is like life. You want to explore all different ways, see what exercises you like, see what exercises you don't like, see what exercises give you better results, because there'll be some people out there that will be only calisthenics, and like it or not, and people will not like this opinion, those die-hard calisthenics people, you are leaving potential, especially when it comes to your leg training, you're leaving it out there. If you want to get your leg as big and as strong as you possibly can, naturally anyway, you have to do weight training. And that might not be a very, very popular opinion, and some people may unsubscribe for that, but the point of this channel is to give you guys a non-BS, non-biased view on fitness, and I'm letting you guys know, yes, you can build strong legs, big legs, athletic legs, good looking legs for wearing shorts, or just calisthenics. Sure, completely. I'm not saying you can. What I'm saying is, if you want to get your legs as big and strong as you humanly can, you're not going to get there with just calisthenics. And you can then move on to say, well, I'll just do pistol squats with a kettlebell. Well, you could say now you're doing weighted leg exercise. And for some of you, especially if you're light guys, like some of you are like, I don't know, maybe under 60, 70, 80 kilos, your legs are phenomenally strong. Your body weight, whether you're on one leg or not, isn't heavy enough. Your legs are phenomenal muscles that have so much capability when it comes to strength, power, conditioning, like they're a jack of all trades. If you really want to get the biggest legs and most powerful legs, start incorporating weights. You're not missing out, you're not going against the calisthenics code or anything like that. Do what works for you, explore it. If you like doing weights, do it. If you don't, at least you tried it, go back to calisthenics, try different ways of training, explore it, and have fun with it. Like, there's some people out here that are into fitness in general, and I've been like it too, where it's just fun to go to a new gym and explore with a new environment, around new people, new equipment, just experiment with new exercises and a new style of training. And this is why, as I've got older, I've got away from always having a structured program. I like having a little bit of variety now. I'm a little bit older, and I'm not so fixated on just strength or just size. I'm wanting to be a bit more all round. That I like doing different forms of training, and it makes it more fun. But you guys have to explore that for yourself. So I've definitely gone over on my talking there, and it's added into my rest. So now, back to it. So that's set 2. What I like about these as well, compared to say doing it as a handstand, is you can really fully lock out at the top. And you'll see me as I come down, come all the way up, push right back up, trying to fully shrug the shoulders up, elevate them. So if you once you go into that position, that's like a full lockout. If you get into that position, everything comes under your shoulder blades and muscles under there, and that's where it really locks out. Like sometimes if you're doing overhead work, they'll say don't just go like that, shrug up and get those shoulder blades elevate, push them right up, because then you get into a full lockout position. The muscles around the scapula make it more stable. So that's why I'm doing that. You can sort of in a way exaggerate that feeling, and it's a bit of a longer range of motion. So guys, let me know down below, like, what do you think of these style of videos? Do you like them? They are obviously going to be a little bit longer, but for any of you that are working out the same, maybe you've watched this video before or something like that, and you're re-watching it to work out with me, like, how do you feel about like these more vlog style workout videos? Some people, and this is the problem with, I guess, society now, is people, information straight away. They have such a short attention span, and this is why stuff like TikTok is so popular. It's half the time when you go on TikTok, it's like mindless crap. Like, there isn't any reason or rhyme to it. It's just, you don't even know what you're watching. But it's over in 15-20 seconds, and then you're on to the next fix, and you're on to the next fix. So sometimes videos, I guess, like this or longer form, people, they lose their interest. So I'm just wondering, like, if you guys actively follow my channel and watch my videos, do you like these form of videos? Do you like the idea of watching what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, you know, learning about ins and outs of exercise, rest periods, everything like that? Let me know what you think of them. And if it's something you guys enjoy, then I'm happy to like vlog more of my workouts so you guys can get a better understanding of how I train, and a little bit more of a real reason of a 5-minute video of just random exercises clubbed together, and you have no idea why they're clubbed together, what rest periods are doing, why you're doing that amount of reps. So that's the last set of them done. Definitely struggle with them. I might next week see what the normal handstand push-ups feel like, give them a go. I've got to find a wall spare that I can do on. So I don't want to damage the wall or damage my shoes rubbing against like the breeze block. Comment down below, guys. What's your workout routine at the minute? What exercises are you doing? What reps? What sets? And why? Why are you doing that rep range? Why are you doing that amount of sets? Why are you doing those exercises? What are your goals? Comment down below. I'd love to know reasons why you do it, the whys, and then maybe we can share some information together or some knowledge or experiences and go from there. Don't forget to drink as well. Like, when it comes to training, people are so fixated on having enough calories, energy to do their workout, or getting enough protein to be able to recover from. But one of the biggest things that can really affect your performance and even the ability to build muscle is your hydration levels. If you're dehydrated by like 1% or 2 or 3%, like really minimal amount, even sometimes just having slightly dry lips can really impact performance, especially strength-wise. So guys, before, during and after, make sure you drink enough water. I've got one of these that I fill up each day, and as long as I drink one of these, I've drunk a pretty good amount. Right, last set of these. I think for this workout anyway, I'm gonna have to put more sand in it. Definitely got more reps in that in there. It's meant to be explosive, like I don't want them to be grinding reps. I feel like I got a little bit more of me. Now I've got used to them. So that's that one done. Let's move on to, hey guys, so the next sort of superset we're gonna be doing is gonna be the pseudo planche push-up and the inverted row. So for any of you that jump on here and start saying that maybe I'm doing it wrong, I'm not into planche push-ups. It's not something I'm training for. I'm just sort of exploring different ways of making push-up more challenging without adding weight. It's sort of playing around with it, so I might not be doing it specifically right. I know I definitely don't have the wrist flexibility to do it that well, but I'm leaning forward and I'm trying to work within that rep range. So I'm hoping it's something that I get better at and I get stronger at, and then maybe in the future, I feel like giving it a go for a bit of fun. I can give it a go, but I'm just exploring a different ways of, I guess I'm just exploring progressive calisthenics in a different way. And this is something I do every now and again, and I advise other people to do. Don't just stick to weighted calisthenics. Try progressive, or try a bit of weight, try a bit of kettlebell. And there's nothing wrong with doing two at the same time, or switching if you have a period where you do this. Right, I'm gonna do heavy weighted calisthenics for a while, and then I'm gonna see what that weighted calisthenics strengths, how that transfers over into normal bodyweight stuff. And then I'm gonna do bodyweight stuff, and then maybe you can move more progressively, try that, and then maybe come back to weighted calisthenics. And you're alternating. You're still doing the same pull-up in a way, but it's just different. It's gonna start with, I think it's a pseudo planche push-up, or just a push-up where you're leaning forward. I may not have the names right, but you guys probably get what I'm about. So you can definitely feel it as you lean further forward. And I guess what I'm doing is bringing my hands down, obviously going out to the side just because I don't have that wrist flexibility. And I'm on my toes and I'm leaning forward. So I'm kind of like on the top of my toes, where my laces are, like that's basically touching the floor as opposed to the heels straight up. And I lean further forward. So anything I feel with the planche push-up or those sort of things, and if any of you are the same, please comment down below. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. I guess I kind of feel it in my chest, but I definitely feel it just so much more in my shoulders. I think like when I've tried it in the past, it's a thing that's kind of put me off, but I guess you're instead of doing like this, and obviously the movement of your chest is, starts here, origin, and it inserts here. You bring these two together, you'll see your chest contract. Okay, that's why when you're doing your PT course, they teach you about the origin and the insert of muscles, because if we can understand where the start and the end point is, we can understand form, or how muscles work, or the direction in which they go. If you're doing like a planche push-up, your hands are quite narrow, so there isn't as much of a movement inwards. It's more of a, you're going up, which again, you're then gonna feel that more in your front shoulder, maybe a kind of coming upwards, more upper chest, maybe more. You might feel it in more than the actual main bulk of the chest, but that's just normally where I feel it, so I could be doing something wrong. Right, now I'm gonna do my inverted rows. So with the inverted rows there, and it's not something I advise to people that are brand new, but only the people that know how to move their scapula properly. You might have noticed like there, it might look like I'm resetting it after the end of each rep, and I kind of am. I'm unsetting my rhomboids, my mid-trap muscles, and I'm going loose. The reason being is I want to be able to feel it come loose, then I shrug them back, then I pull them all the way down, loose, pull in. It's so I can just get extra movement and really know I'm hitting sort of the scapular muscles, the rhomboids, mid-lower traps. And obviously if you're new, it's best just to pull them in and hold them through the whole entirety of the rep. And as you get stronger and more, learn about how your body works and moves and how it feels in different muscles, then you can play around with kind of relaxing to contract, then pull, and you can transfer that into the pull-up as well. And that's why some people will go into sort of like a passive hang, then they'll shrug back and down, and then they pull. And as you get more fluent with that and have more control, you can do them simultaneously. Like you can go loose and suddenly it's contract, back, pull, and it's one fluid, smooth movement. And that's when you know you've got true control and true strength over those muscles. If you can actually practice them broken up, and then they end up working simultaneously together, and that way you know those muscles are being recruited, and not just isometrically, but you're actually able to control your scapula, and that's quite important. fatigue starts to build up over the workout. I'm not sure how long this one's been. It's quite quick, like I said, with the rest periods, but fatigue just starts to add up. Plus, I'm on a diet at the minute, trying to lose weight, just to look better, be healthier. And also when it comes to like bodyweight training in general, it's gonna be easier if I'm carrying less mass. So at the minute, I'm like 15 stone 2 this morning. So I'm like 94 kilo. I'm only 5'11", so it's a fair amount of weight to be carrying around if you're just doing pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and even just like going for a run. And I'm not gonna say that all of it is muscle, because it's not, but I've definitely got some weight that I could do with losing. If I did lose it, not only am I gonna be healthier, not only am I gonna look better, but it's gonna improve my performance. So I'm on a diet at the minute, so I know my energy isn't as good. I want to be as good as maybe if I'm eating a little bit more, especially because at the minute I'm doing kind of like intermittent fasting. So it's something I may do a video on at a later date. Like, comment down below if that's something that would interest you. Sort of give you guys the idea of why I'm doing it and why it works. So guys, inverted rows are definitely a great exercise. As I'm doing it at the minute is with a straight leg, because the great thing about doing that is it allows you to start incorporating posterior chain, your glutes and your hamstrings, to try and keep them straight and create that tension in your core, which is really, really good. Plus, even if you can do the pull-ups as sort of like a hybrid with a row, just doing some horizontal pulling is so beneficial for your back and your rear delts. And that's something that is important because a lot of us are very dominant with the way that we train, prioritizing pushing exercises, or they do hardly any pulling at all. And obviously posture-wise, we're rounding over, those muscles become stretched and then weak. So it's very, very good just from just a health standpoint, shoulder health. Do some rowing, even if it's not even part of a full workout. Grabbing some bands, doing some rows every now and again, just for a little bit of shoulder health, will do a lot of people benefits. Last set, best set. I think pretty much I've tried to do 7 reps everything, so I might even just do that. It might just make things easier if I just keep everything 7 reps and then build up to 8, then pick a harder variation or increase the weight to go back to 5. I know some people are going to be like, oh, you're not doing any direct core work. For me, if you're doing the other exercises properly, and like in that video when I talked about how to make the push-up better, to perfect it, take what you get from the plank, that contracting your core, engaging your core, your quads, you know, even getting your lower body in with something like your push-up. If you transfer that mentality into all of your exercises, your core is going to get worked. And stuff like the trap bar, it's a functional way of using your core. The core main purpose is to stabilize your spine, to keep it safe, to keep it stable. That's its main purpose, to keep and protect the spine, transfer energy between the upper and the lower body. Very rare in life you're going to be crunching over or anything like that, where some people just focus on the rectus abdominis, the 6-pack abs. You're not going to be doing that in life. You're going to be picking up stuff and you're going to be moving, and you need to transfer force. So if you're doing stuff like the pull-up, tense your core up. If you need to, that's going to work. Push up, the inverted row, tense your core, get your core engaged. If you're doing stuff like even the kettlebells or the sandbag, contract your core and stabilize your spine. That's going to be the most functional way to train your core muscles than just lying on the floor and doing some crunches or some hollow body holds or things like that, which some people get very, very focused on, but it's not something that I particularly focus on or think is particularly important. And when it comes to the core, the most important core muscle is going to be your lower back. Your lower back is still technically part of your core because it's stabilizing your spine. It's just on the posterior side. People are very focused on the front. They're focused on the 6-pack abs. They're focused on the obliques, not because of the obliques help with anti-rotation and stopping the spine from twisting or being under load and under stress. They're thinking of it just because of the aesthetics of it, where you're going to have the rectus abdominis, you're going to have the transverse abdominis, which is like our body's own corset that stabilizes our spine. That's when you're taking a big deep breath and holding it, you're creating that pressure by pushing up against it, and your diaphragm and things like that. And you've got your obliques, which are going to help with rotation, keeping your spine straight and stable. And then you've got your lower back that's on the back, which is going to help it from anti-flexion extension. It's going to be there, but then also stuff like your lats, which come down, which connect partly to your spine and your pelvis. They stabilize your core as well. So we don't just want to think just of six-pack abs and which are the abs that look good and working on them just from an aesthetic standpoint. Let's train them for performance. Let's train them for health. Let's train them for the ability to be able to lift things and move things without getting backache, without getting injured, and maximizing our performance in executing those exercises, transferring energy between our upper body and our lower body, performing exercises like the trap bar or the sandbag or a clean and press, which is utilizing the upper body and the lower body, or even stuff like the burpee, where you're using your whole body and it's explosive and it's dynamic. Having a strong core to stabilize your spine while going through different planes of motion is really important. In that position, you're not doing crunches, it's stabilizing your core by using a multitude of different muscles to keep your spine safe. So guys, let me know what you think of this sort of style of video. I'm quite happy to make them if you guys are something you enjoy. It's not too difficult for me to sort of like work the camera around doing exercises and explaining why I'm doing things and going through that. So if it's something you guys enjoy, then please comment down below, let me know down what you think. If you like this sort of content and you want more of calisthenics or weight training or incorporating the both or anything like that, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon for future notifications, and make sure you hit that like button because it does really help the channel to grow. And I'll see you guys in the next video.